A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a dramatic turn of events on July 1st, 2025, Senate Republicans narrowly passed President Donald Trump's significant tax breaks and spending cuts bill, overcoming fierce opposition from Democrats and a handful of dissenting Republicans. The vote concluded with a 50-50 tie, which Vice President J.D. Vance broke, pushing the bill forward amidst a backdrop of high tension and political maneuvering at the Capitol. This bill, formerly known as the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, is a pivotal piece of legislation for the Trump administration, encapsulating the president's key policy goals and reflecting the GOP's control over Congress. The passage of this bill was anything but smooth. It followed an unusually tense weekend of negotiations and discussions, with the fate of the legislation hanging in the balance. 3 Republican senators, Tom Tillis of North Carolina, Susan Collins of Maine, and Rand Paul of Kentucky, joined all Democrats in opposing the bill, highlighting the fractures within the Republican Party itself. The split underscores the challenges faced by GOP leaders as they navigate the complexities of their own party's priorities and the demands of their constituents. Senate Majority Leader John Thune of South Dakota was seen scrambling for last-minute agreements to satisfy both the more conservative members of his party, who were pushing for deeper cuts, and those who raised concerns about the potential impact on Medicaid and healthcare access. The bill proposes substantial cuts to Medicaid, which could leave millions without health coverage, a point of contention that has drawn criticism from various quarters. President Trump, while acknowledging the complicated nature of the bill, expressed a desire to avoid excessive cuts, stating, "I don't want to go too crazy with cuts. I don't like cuts." However, the legislation includes $4.5 trillion in tax cuts, making permanent the tax rates established during Trump's first term, which were set to expire at the end of the year. The Senate's version of the bill also rolls back significant green energy tax credits, which Democrats argue would jeopardize investments in renewable energy across the country. The bill is now set to return to the House, where Speaker Mike Johnson has cautioned senators not to stray too far from the original version passed by his chamber. The Senate made several changes, particularly concerning Medicaid, which could lead to further complications as the deadline for finalizing the legislation looms closer to the 4th of July. The political stakes are high for Trump and the Republican Party as they face increasing scrutiny from the public and opposition from Democrats. An analysis from the Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, CBO, revealed that if the bill is enacted, 11.8 million Americans could lose their health insurance by 2034, and the deficit could increase by nearly $3.3 trillion over the next decade. On social media, billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk criticized the Republicans, referring to them as the Porky Pig Party for including a $5 trillion debt ceiling increase in the package, which is necessary for continued government borrowing. In the Senate, the atmosphere was tense as lawmakers engaged in a lengthy process known as vote-a-rama, where they debated and voted on a series of amendments to the bill. Despite efforts from Democrats to delay the process, including a weekend reading of the full bill, the GOP was determined to push through their legislative agenda. Senator Patty Murray of Washington raised concerns about the accounting methods used by Republicans, which suggest that the tax breaks from Trump's first term should not be counted as part of the deficit increase. That kind of magic math won't fly with Americans trying to balance their own household books, she argued. The passage of this bill marks a significant moment in the ongoing political saga surrounding Trump's presidency and the Republican Party's efforts to implement their agenda. As the legislation moves back to the House, all eyes will be on how it is received and whether it can withstand the scrutiny of both party members and the public. With the 4th of July deadline approaching, the pressure is mounting for both sides to come to a resolution that satisfies their respective bases while navigating the complex landscape of American politics. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.